Hi, this is Stuart Talley. I'm the partner here responsible for the defective hip litigation. The reason we're doing this video today is to provide some information about hip settlements. And a question that we often get, and we've at our firm settled hundreds of defective hip cases, and one of the questions we often get is whether the client has to take the settlement. Okay? In cases like this, where you have thousands of people all impacted by a defective hip, typically what will happen is there will be a global settlement. So there'll be a settlement where everybody who has a hip that's been replaced is offered a certain amount of money. It may be adjusted upward or downward depending on individual circumstances, but at some point there will be a settlement. And the question that every person who has one of these hips has to ask themselves is whether they want to take that settlement. And it's important to know that whenever you have a case like this, where you have thousands of individual lawsuits, the individuals, each of them, must make their own determination as to whether they want to take a settlement or not. If you have a defective hip and you don't like the terms of the settlement, you don't believe it adequately compensates you for your injuries, you do not have to take it. You can tell your attorney that it's not adequate, that you're not going to settle the case, and your attorney should continue litigating the case on your behalf, trying to move it towards trial to try and get you more money. The problem with that sometimes is that what you have is a lot of time. Usually when there's thousands of cases and a settlement's made to everyone who has a case, if you don't take it, you're probably going to have to wait a lot longer to get your case settled than if you accept the settlement. That's the downside. But what's important to know is that the decision is yours. So a couple things to consider, and I tell people this when they call me. One of the most important things when you're looking at a hip case to know is that when you get to the end of the road, when there is a settlement offer on the table, the most important person for you to look to is your lawyer. You need to trust your lawyer. You need a lawyer who has experience handling hip cases. Not just one, not just two, but lots of hip cases. You need a lawyer also that has a lot of hip cases. If you have a lawyer who only has one or two, and you ask him, should I settle my case, you have to understand that if you don't settle the case, your lawyer may have to expend huge amounts of money litigating your case moving forward. And if he only has one or two cases, sometimes it's difficult to do that from a financial perspective. Whereas if you have a lawyer that has hundreds of hip cases, it's not that expensive on a proportional basis for him to continue litigating cases that don't settle. When people call me and say, hey, what should I look for in a lawyer? First of all, you want a lawyer you trust. You want someone who will really give you good information. You want a lawyer who has experience handling hip cases, and you want a lawyer who's got a lot of them. I know sometimes people are concerned about being sort of lost in the shuffle or just a number if a firm has 100 or 200 cases. But the reality is that firms that have a lot of cases should be able to get you more money should you decide not to take a settlement down the road. So if you have a metal-on-metal hip or any other kind of recalled hip and you have any concerns or issues about how these cases settle, what you need to know when you're looking at a settlement, feel free to give us a call. We give free case evaluations. We're always here. We'll answer any questions that you have. You can reach us at the phone number on your screen, or you can visit us at our website and fill out one of our online forms.